Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 26th edition of the Community Pulse. This is a special edition, and it's dedicated to hashtag Songtember. It's something that Pete Johns started, I think it was in 2019, but he will correct me. Maybe it was 2018. But it's a special show. We have Mark Brohl as the co-host. When I did some research going back before my time on YouTube, I noticed that Mark is a good friend of mine, and he's been on following Pete Johns, and it's how I met him. So I thought it'd be appropriate to have him on as a co-host. He's a great individual, and I'm so nervous to have Pete Johns on this show tonight. I'm not going to lie. I have so much respect for this man. Without Pete Johns, I wouldn't have met any of you, no doubt in my mind. I was looking for some software just to update myself to the new formats of recording and all that, and I'm still confused, and I'm taking some lessons on Logic right now, Pro Logic, and it's working out fine. Last year, I created a little Songtember myself, using that system, and it came out pretty good, but it was pretty basic, and we'll talk about that a little later. So right now, I don't want to keep Pete Johns in the backstage nor Mark for too long, so I do want to start off by shouting out these notable streaming channels, starting with Metalhead Hippie. He's on every Friday, and these are the channels you saw at the beginning of the show. 4 p.m. Please submit your music. And once again, to all of you who aren't familiar with these streaming channels, this is how my channel grew. This is the places that made my music heard out there. There's nothing like this community. And if you follow what I have done, you're going to find success in here and with displaying your music and your talents. So Metalhead Hippie every Friday at 4 p.m. Submit, you can email him your song and he will play it. He's got a special show. He starts from Europe side at 4. He works into the Canadian side. He's there around 6. Then he goes on to the US by about 7 and runs till about 8:30. And then we have Thomas Christ every Wednesday at 7 p.m. He too will sit on that chair for us playing our music. It's on every Wednesday. It's the You Rock Show. You'll need a form, and you can see it right on the show or right on his main channel page. Fill out the form, submit the song, let him know what area you're from, country, and he will definitely play it. And there's no need to mention my name when you submit these songs. You won't get extra favoritism. And this is one big family. And just submit your song and he will play it. Independent Many United is on every Friday at 8 p.m. She started a nice little show. You show up between 8 and 10. It's just all music. Anybody that shows up in the chat, she will post, play your song. She has an open panel. You can come up on panel, bring an instrument. sing karaoke style, whatever it is you wish. She'll welcome all. So that's every Friday. I believe she's going to be back this Friday. I'm not sure, but I'm going to announce it anyway. So let's keep our eyes open. Obviously, she's my channel manager, so she'll probably post it if she is. Chad Freeman every Sunday at 10 p.m. He too will, you show up in the chat, and you can submit him some songs in advance. And he will play your music also. They're great streaming channels. And I think I saw a post that Chad's going to be back on a Saturday afternoon just before Thomas Christ, Jade Starr, and Pete Johns do their live performances. And then we have one of my best friends in this community, 15th Bend, every Thursday. It's the roller coaster stream. It is one of the fastest streams you'll experience. Hence the title of the roller coaster. And it's also because he's got a nice variety of music. So that's on every Thursday at 9 p.m. You can't miss that. And there was one that I wanted to, yes. So I just heard now Jade Starr, she does interviews. There's another big part of my success is she interviewed me way back in September 2020, right after I submitted my first song to Pete Johns, and that went really well. And once again, helped my channel grow, helped me meet so many people from this community. She has the live interviews every Thursday, and 100% sure just before I jumped back onto mine that she is on. And who did I hear? Greg Hutto is going to be the guest on the show Thursday. So please mark that in your calendar. If we could put out the link, go over and hit the notification. And then, of course, I saved Pete Johns for last. Your Music Live every Sunday at 7 p.m. I know they're going into their daylight savings chimes. I think they're in spring, so they're going to spring forward, I think. And but we will find out. And yeah, so once again with Pete Johns, you can just submit the form that you'll find on the channel. Your Music Live is another great one, and the first one that I ever submitted my music to, as I mentioned, just about every show, episode number 83. I'll never forget it. It was January 2nd. My wife and I were away, and I just happened to look at an email saying your music was played, will be played, and it was just beautiful. I had the whole restaurant to myself, and yeah. So that's it. I want to bring on our co-host and not waste any time right now. And our co-host is Mark Brohl. As I mentioned, I met Mark through Pete's channel. Wonderful man from Montreal, Quebec. So he's a good Canadian. And you're going to love Mark, as I do. He was featured on my Canada Day celebration stream that we posted on July 1st. And let me just play a little song that I've got here for Mark.
When we open our eyes on this brand new world, we're greeted by the sights and sounds of wonderful life all around, full of amazing colors and the smell of the flowers. With all the creatures great and small, we really have it all. Yes, I believe we mortals are the lucky ones. And I really hope you make the most of your decades in the sun. We're born, we live, we learn, we love and are loved. We might even raise some kids and they'll have some like we did. But when the time comes for our last goodbye, we surely can't complain. We die because we live. Yes, I believe we mortals are the lucky ones, and I really hope you make the most of your decades in the sun. Decades in the sun. Decades in the sun. Decades in the sun. Decades in the sun.
All right. How beautiful was that? Let's bring on our friend.
Hello, Frank.
Welcome, Mark. And thank you for coming on to the show tonight. I really appreciate it. And yeah, it's going to be a fun evening altogether. I really love that song and the meaning behind it. I'm sure it's even deeper than we know. And yeah, tell me about that one.
Well, it was my Songtember song from last year.
Uh-huh.
Within the year before that, I lost my last uncle. I lost a brother and a sister. So that really got me thinking about life and death and everything. And it's really what came out of that. It's just that we only have a few decades under the sun. Might as well make the most of it. So that's
very well written. And that's the theme tonight. As we said, I posted it at the top of the channel. I mean, what do you call it? Chat for Pete John's Songtember. And this is the kind of music that you're going to get. It's all fantastic artists, and many of which started religiously on the 1st and have it completed by the end of September. And it's pretty amazing what they do. I cheat. I do a little head start because I have a, time's tough with my work hours. So, and typically my studio days are Thursday, and I stay true to that. And so it doesn't give me enough time, but as Pete Johns will tell you, there are no rules in Songtember. As I see some people in the chat, I'm going to be challenging some of you to submit a song for Songtember and get working on it. And like I said, the link is there so you can see some of the past, have a listen to some of the past tracks. I also forgot to mention Jade Star will be doing something all week pertaining to Songtember and building up to throughout the month of September, as will Pete Johns. And a lot of these artists will be actually recording it live, show by show, and you get to see the progress. To those of you who aren't familiar with recording, this is going to be fantastic. But once again, I'll shut up so we can get Pete to describe it a little better. Yeah, so you all excited to have Pete on, Mark?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, yes.
me too. So I've I have a little track. It's one of my favorite tracks. Now this track, I'm not sure if it's a Songtember track, but it was gifted to Russ 8889, as many of you know, started an initiative um, for children with cancer, and this is one of the songs for the charity for music for life charity, and this song's called "The 1%," and hands down has to be one of my favorite Pete Johns tracks, and I absolutely love this. I'm going to play this song, and we're going to bring on the true legend of this community, known as the godfather of this community. So let's bring this up.
When you open your eyes up to the sky above and see the world, there is nothing that you can do but close your eyes again, 'cause you don't like what you're seeing, and you don't like what it means, and you don't want to believe it, 'cause you're part of the 1%. When you open your mind up to the evidence you don't believe, there is nothing that you can do but close your mind again, 'cause you don't want to admit it, that you don't know what to do, and you don't have all the answers, 'cause you're part of the 1%. When you open your heart up to the people who need your help, there is nothing that you can do but turn and walk away, 'cause you don't care. What can you do? And it's their fault anyway, and you just don't understand it, 'cause you're part of the 1%.
Didn't I tell you? How beautiful is that? So let's do this, and let's bring on Mr. Pete Johns, everybody.
Hello, Frank. Hello, Mark. Hello, everyone. How are you all doing today?
Oops, maybe it's good if I unmute. There he goes. We're unmuted.
I
We're
just
doing
said the
well.
most amazing, insightful thing, and you missed it. Oh, I don't know. Hello, how you going, folks?
Well, it's a good thing I was on mute because I was harmonizing the whole time.
Love it.
I saw you
Very
singing
fun.
away.
Thanks so much for having me on, Frank, and hello to you, Mark. Two of my favourite people in the community here, and a wonderful group of folks here in the live chat. So happy Songtember, everybody.
Yeah, so I'm so grateful to have you on this show, Pete. Like I said, I think you already know. I don't have to tell you how much you and your show and the community that you introduced me to means to me. yeah, it's just a beautiful thing, and I'm so glad this worked out perfect for to kick off your Songtember, which is a great initiative. And like I said, I want to challenge some of the people that are in this community right now, like Dragon. Uh, I saw that little thing you posted. I would love to have you submit a song. It's pretty cool. Just we're going to post some links, and Pete will tell us how this is all done. There's quite a few. Gussie Wells, I'm not sure you were around the community before me. I'd love to see, listen to something of yours. So tell us a little bit about this, what you got going here, Pete.
Yeah, so it's again, it's such a privilege again to be here and to kick off Songtember again. This is our sixth iteration of Songtember, which is kind of blowing me away. So for the last 5 years, every September, the community we get together and I challenge the community to create, record, and release a song in the month, and I do it too. So I've actually documented my process over the last 5 years. We've got 5 complete songs, but the best part of it is seeing everyone else get involved. And for those that maybe are on the fence, maybe you've created, I often say that as creators, we're great at doing half songs and 90% songs and 99% songs, but taking the plunge of actually sharing your song out there with other folks can be really daunting. It can be quite scary. And I wanted to create a safe and inclusive environment where we're all on the same page. There's something to be said for if you're facing something on your own, it's a lot more challenging than if you're facing it with another group of people doing the same thing. Just go to any karaoke night, you'll see no one gets up there until a group of people get up there and sing Sweet Caroline, and then everyone's away because you're all in the same boat. And it's the same thing with Songtember. So it really is simple. It's not a competition. It is not something that you need to stress about. It's just a way to make sure that people are continuing to create music. So I've got a website, studiolifetoday.com/Songtember. That gives you all the links to everything you need to know. And it really is as simple as start on the 1st of September or a little before, Frank. Nothing wrong with that. And then by the end of the month, share what you've got. And last year we had 78 complete songs and a bunch of other folks that were also part of the process that either started the song or were part of the cheer squad, just cheering people on throughout the month. So it really is, it's our Christmas in this community, and it's my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, I can just imagine. I hadn't had time, not gonna lie, to see exactly how many entries you had last year compared to your first year.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Yeah, so we had just under 30 completed songs, and I remember that because I pledged back in the iTunes days. Like, not many people actually buy music online anymore; it's all streaming. But back in the iTunes days, to get people to get their music out there, I said, "Hey, if you release a song, I'm going to buy it. So you're a professional musician if you participate in Songtember, because I'll buy a copy of your song." So yeah, I was about $30 poorer at the end of that first month, but it meant there were 30 people with their songs out there. There were a few more people that didn't actually submit theirs, like didn't finish their song and put it out there onto Spotify and iTunes and whatnot, which is again is part of the whole thing. You don't have to formally release it. Like, you can put it onto, there's so many places now, as you know, Frank and Mark, you can put it on YouTube, you can put it on Facebook, you can put it onto Slaps, you can put it onto SoundCloud. There's a heap of free platforms where you can share your music. But yeah, we've grown over time, and again, I think there's even more people that just use it as an excuse to get back into creating music. And there's some people that talked to me this year and said, I've been on the sidelines, I've been watching for the last 3 years, this is my time. So it's kind of that slow building over time of just encouraging people to, because my mantra at Studio Live Today has been create, record, release, because I wanted to help people do the creation side, the songwriting side. And I know, Frank, that's something you're passionate about with a lot of the things you're involved with Songwriters Anonymous and the like. The recording, which can be the big barrier for a lot of people. Maybe you play guitar or you play keys or you sing, but GarageBand or Logic Pro or Reaper or Pro Tools or whatever you're using just baffles you. So you need help with actually the recording process, and then the releasing, which is twofold. There's a technical side of releasing, which is how do I get this thing I created actually, like, it's easier said than done. Do I put a video with it? Am I like Tom Carraher and I do these massive productions, or can I just put the album artwork out there and release it? So yeah, just getting that out there. And then a lot of what we talk about, especially in Songtember, is the psychology and the fact that many people don't share music because of the fear of feedback and the fear of rejection and the fear of what if I'm not good enough. And the thing is, you're as good as you are, and the only way to get better is to put yourself out there. And we've seen that time and time again. It's been proven over the last 6 years that there's people that's first Songtember song I listened to, and now I hear what they're creating now, and it's like, this is amazing because you get to see that progress over time.
Well, how true is that? Because, and I'm going to let Mark had a few questions. Sorry, Mark. How true is that? Because the first Songtember, I remember clearly. I reached out to Mr. Smith and Jade, and she didn't see the email till months later because she was going through some things. And I wanted it perfect. I wanted that perfect recording. I wanted that perfect thing happening. And Smith had some ideas, and we didn't really like it because it wasn't going to be perfect. And then after watching the whole thing unfold, your Songtember in 2022, it's like maybe there's more people like me and listening to you and saying, so I released that one simple bass, Kyle the drummer, and and the two acoustics, two acoustics and the vocals, and that's it.
That's all you need.
That's it. That's all you need. Yep.
Yeah.
Simple is often the best.
Yeah, and I think it's fantastic. You can go ahead, Mark, or else I just won't shut up.
That's all you need, because you can make it as complicated as you want. You can make it as simple as you want. The thing is, you need to express something.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that. It might be a deep emotion, or it might be something fun that you've seen, and you make a song out of that. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. Yeah, it's and either it works or it doesn't. But even if it doesn't, you will at least learn something that you can apply to the next one. You see, there's an expression that there's two sides to a coin. But have you noticed it's always the same coin?
Yes.
So there's no two way to approach it. There's only one. Be who you are, give it your best, and let others deal with it. Simple as that.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, no, it really doesn't have to be a complicated thing. And I think it's so important. The reason that when I said create, record, release, I really wish I'd rebranded that to create, record, share, because there's a school of thought that says that art is only art once it's shared with another human. Look, as I age, I've come across some people that just want to do things for themselves, and I think that's totally cool as well. But for the most part, we create this thing so that we can share it, whether it's, as Mark said, whether it's an emotion, whether it's an experience, whether it's just an observation, whether you want to have a go at the really rich people that don't support people very well, like in my song 1%. So it's really just about how do you get the message across, and an acoustic guitar and a vocal, similar to what Mark produced, a very simple but effective song, can sometimes resonate with people more than 32 tracks of plugins and effects and things. So I think if people are daunted, if people are thinking, I can't do this, you're probably looking at what other people do and comparing yourself to them, instead of comparing yourself to you and being the best version of you that you can do.
Yeah, well said. So as the community pulse works, I'm going to do some shout outs from some of the premieres. I was away, most of you know, on holidays all week. And thank you to DJ Big Red 81 and Folk Punk helping me through the week to make sure I didn't miss as many as I thought I knew I was going to miss. But we start off with David Joshua, Opulent Shadow promo 2024. Choey G, an amazing guitarist, Champagne Supernova acoustic cover. Crimson Crux, what a great release. Somebody to Love, Jefferson Airplane classic. And there's another one I met through Pete John's show. Badass Brutus guitar, moving through. Music concept. Music connects people. It's an Italian friend of mine from Italy, and Adriana Amacucci, and this song's called Voice Techno. I am really trying to get her to share some of the music with some of you streaming channels. Um, I don't know how it works, Pete. Maybe you should go check her out, and maybe you can post, bring something. She's doing a lot of 2-minute tracks now. Seems to be the trend right now. Charlie Tomstone, vocal. Jerry Gomes, Why Didn't I Listen? A great track. Son of Snake, Sludge Feeder, Project and Protect. Rose Ackerman, Music, another one I believe I met on Pete's channel, a couple years back, and we've just been supporting one another's music. John Schur, Patience, drummer Jim for Life, Bulls on Parade. It's a Rage Against the Machine drum cover. KVK, Coils, great track, brother. And we're going to be doing our Songtember with myself, KVK, Gordium 85, and Leela. Once we figure out a couple things. Gordon Lee Weaver, La 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 Land. My friend Mary, she's in the chat. She's from Italy. Amzi, I see you in there. I'm challenging you to submit a song to this Songtember. Please do. I would love to hear it. Kianra Music did a really nice thing the other day, Pete. Did you catch that? Yeah,
I didn't. I only saw that she was kicking off Songtember again, and I was super happy to see it.
Yeah. And she had disappeared. I hadn't heard from her since the charity for life. So it was nice to see her back. I watched the whole thing. It was right on September 1st, I think it was, right on the first day. Rhodey's Jam Cave put out a cover, Heart Full of Sun. Boomster Black, Hammer Down. Tony Howie jamming to an old classic. And Hugh Caldwell and Mark Wade did a cover of Can't Find My Way Back Home, a classic cover. And I'm going to stop at number 30. Forest of the Wolf, Slow Burning Memories, and Tracy Melly. We're trying to get her up between Chad and myself into more involved into this community. She's a brilliant artist, and I would love if people go over and just kind of listen. It's worth it. And let's see if we can get her into the community. I'm going to stop there for now. Pete, I do want to mention, just to encourage people, I'm 60 and it's simple. It sounds like I'm preaching hard work. This didn't come overnight for Pete Johns. He started in November 2015. And I believe he was still working at the time. He now has 142,000 subscribers, 42 million views. I can guarantee you these aren't bought. And I got caught up in that for a little bit last year. So this is what I mean by hard work. And what does this man do? He shares our music, teaches us things. Patrick Chandler, great to see you. Great track. Take it from there, Pete.
Yeah, so it has been quite a ride, and you're right. So when I first registered Studio Live today in 15, I didn't really know what it was going to become. I was looking for 3 words that could be a website, and I just kept putting in recording and studio related terms. And I had the view that in the future I would love to do like a daily music show. And I'm like, well, what about studio live today? And we can do something every day. And then it kind of morphed from there. As I was learning to record music, I was using GarageBand on my iPhone and on my iPad. And I couldn't find. We had so Patrick from the GarageBand Guide, who's a good friend of mine now and a fellow creator, and also doing amazing work. He was covering GarageBand on Mac quite a lot and a little bit of mobile, but there was no dedicated mobile recording for folks like me that wanted to record on our iPads or iPhones. So I thought, let's create one. Let's be that resource, and that's where I kind of got addicted to this way of doing things, which is of just trying to show what I do as opposed to teaching people. And I think one of the challenges is that when you become an expert in something, it can be really difficult to remember what it was like to be a beginner or an amateur. And I wanted my channel to be different from that I learn things and I document my learning process, and then I teach as I go. So I'm never way ahead, just sort of going, oh yeah, I'm an expert in all of these things. I like to actually embrace the learning by learning it myself and then teaching and onward teaching to other folks. So that kind of worked well, and I think it resonated with people because I personally was intimidated when I started learning. There were a lot of the online resources kind of had a lot of assumed knowledge. At that time, I didn't know what an EQ was. I didn't know what a compressor was. I didn't know how to use reverb and delay. All these terms meant nothing. Mastering, what's mastering? I don't understand that. And there was not all, but some of these resources that would talk down to people. They would say, yeah, of course you grab your LR, your Q compressor, and then you put your... I don't know what you're saying, man. So I just wanted to make sure that mine was accessible and that anyone could realize that they can create, record, and release. And that's where it kind of morphed into create, record, release being kind of the mantra. And now every time I do a video, I sit down and go, right, is this going to help people create and record and release their best music? If the answer is yes in any way, then I make that video. And I've been lucky enough that over the last 3 years, I've been able to do this as my full-time job. So yeah, I was juggling a corporate job as well as doing this for a few years. And then as part of the 2020, of the changes of 2020 that many of us went through, there was an opportunity to take a redundancy from my corporate gig. And I jumped at the chance, let's say, to do this full time. So yeah. Since then, we've increased the number of live streams that we've done. So we do GarageBand Weekly every week, talking all about GarageBand. We've got Your Music Live, the show you referenced before, where I play other people's independent music. I do a live happy hour show, so I keep myself in the playing spirit by playing some cover songs and some originals. So I'm not just teaching, but I'm actually playing and keeping my skills up once a week. And then, we do tutorials, so mainly based around GarageBand and Logic Pro on iPad. But a lot of other musical concepts and trying to just make things easy and simple. And the real reward is the fact that I've had 16-year-olds that are just learning music that tell me, hey, your video helped me out. And I've had 85-year-olds that say, hey, I haven't touched an instrument in years and you showed me how easy GarageBand was, and now I just pick up my phone and press record and play my songs and I'm happy. So yeah, it's been super rewarding. And folks like Mark here and other people that have been supporting me all along the way, couldn't do it without them. So I always say it's YouTube, not MeTube, people. So it is all about you and not about me.
That's well said. I love that line. And that's why I stress to everybody for some of these channels. It is so important for us to support them because they do so much, and most of it is for us. Once again, we wouldn't be this community without these pillars of these of what I mentioned earlier. I do want to say some of the things that you have, what Pete was talking about. He's got Studio Live, and I know we have some links out there. Studio Live today. He has Studio Gear Guide, GarageBand Weekly, Your Music Live, obviously once a year, the Songtember, and very important is that happy hour, because you need to stay in touch. I mean, I just started this and not comparing myself to you guys, I'm telling you, but it's like, I need to get back to my music.
Yeah.
And you're doing this full time. And yeah, like that's
it is
so important.
It is a challenge, as Mark knows, because he's part of the Patreon crew, and I do some sort of behind the scenes stuff, and he knows some of the challenges of getting actual music created and spending time on music, because when you run this as a business, not to get too into the weeds and inside baseball about it, but when people think of being a YouTuber or a content creator full time, they think of the bits that you see on camera, and that's about 10% of what I do. The 90% is the behind the scenes stuff, which is like running a business, funnily enough. You got to pay taxes, you've got to pay bills, you've got to liaise with different creators and liaise with different companies to try and get brand deals and do all of that. So yeah, it's a challenging thing to do, but I love it. Like, my job didn't exist 10 years ago. So, and 20 years ago, it was a pipe dream. Like, the fact that you could have your own live show, and for you, Frank, and you, Mark, like, you must be feeling that, wow, this is, I often say we live in the future, and sometimes I kind of have to pinch myself. There's a lot that we can complain about and focus on the negative on.
Yep.
But yeah, as someone that grew up on the internet and grew up with computers, man, if you told me that we would have a free platform where you could stream and store an infinite amount of audio and video content that other people could watch live and on demand, that just blows me away. So yeah, we definitely do live in the future.
Yeah, we certainly do. I'm gonna, one of the songs, so just to make it clear to everybody, most of the people in the chat, Bass Girl 42, I'd love to challenge you to come up and do something for the Songtember.
I love the challenges, Frank. This is so cool.
No, I'm bringing it. And then we have another Canadian out there, John Lemon and Lemonade. Please, John, you're going to love this. Please follow this link. And look at that. It's Bad Joe. Yeah, please do. This is a great thing. If you follow that link that's posted, that's pinned at the top, you get to hear what was released in the last few years. Please go follow it. So, Pete, as most of the people in the chat here know, that the way it works is the featured artist gets to pick 5 of their songs. And believe me, while I was on the holidays, DJ Big Red 81 and myself, we prepared at least 10 of Pete's songs. And I said, he's going to pick one of these. So at least we're ready, so I can do some work while I'm away and not too much. And what does he do? He picks 5 songs from other artists. So,
throw you a curveball there, Frank. That's what I do.
So it was amazing. Very kind. The first song that we have on cue is a song that we mentioned earlier, that I wrote back in 2020, and it was New World. And maybe if a lot of people don't pay attention to the description, you'll see that it's hashtag Songtember. This was mine and Folk Punk's idea to release it in Songtember and make it accessible to everybody, and have anybody who wanted to purchase, to get the stems, I would send it to them. And it worked out pretty good. And this song was for my first submission to Songtember. I'm going to play it through right now, and let's have a listen.
year. So long, so long. It's been a while since I touched your face. It's been a long, long year. Somebody save me, and I'll save somebody. This is a world's war against you and me. Find peace, be one. Stop, I'm dying. Stop, I'm dying. Somebody save me, and I'll save somebody. This is a new world. It's just you and me. Stand tall, stay strong. Sing of love, sing of love. Lessons learned, move on. Be as one, be as one. Somebody save me, and I'll save somebody. This is a world's war against you and me. Somebody save me, and I'll save somebody. This is a new world. It's just you and me. Somebody save me, and I'll save somebody. This is a world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for that, Pete. I really
Very cool.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
Great
no,
track,
that's
Frank.
yeah, it's amazing, and the fact that you shared that out, and then listening to the other versions, many of which we played on Your Music Live afterwards. Yeah, it was so cool to see, and it was one of the first. So as Frank mentioned, I played Frank first back on Your Music Live '83. I didn't remember the number, but Frank reminded me of it a couple of years ago, and then I'm like, yeah, this guy's pretty cool, and then had a few conversations and chats with Frank over the time, and then yeah, when you did your Songtember and you shared it out, I'm like, this guy gets it. This guy's on the same page, the same wavelength as the rest of this community, because yeah, it is all about doing a thing, but then giving it back, and it's a two-way thing. Like social media is supposed to be about being social, and Frank did exactly that with that track. So that's why as soon as Frank said, "What songs you want to play?" I'm like, "Well, I have to have New World. That has to be number one." So very very cool stuff, Frank.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. 38 different versions of that, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it's still available. I think there's Folk Punk said there was a couple more out there we're waiting on, so it's pretty cool. So yeah, let's continue. Thank you. That was a little awkward talking about my music, but
See, now you know why I didn't want to play my music. I wanted to handball it over to other people.
I know. And you know, it's funny. I was telling the DJ and Folk Punk earlier, I had the episode of 83 at the beginning. It's like, that's another wrench you threw in there. It's like, I'm not going to make the show 2 of my songs now. It's like, so I cut that one out. And anyways, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, Dwight, challenging you as well, man. You got to put something out there. Follow that link that's pinned up on the top. That would be really cool to get Dwight Bailey up there. Satellite Sounds, Moon Rock, Paul with a track called Girl, Jim Abear, Dull Rusty Knife, Take a Short Break, Rage Against the Silence, pretty cool AI stuff there. Take Two drum covers, good friend of ours, Brian, came into the community pretty strong, very respectful. Great work, Brian. Does a lot of drum covers, a great drummer. Playing with the Girls, Playing with Girls, ACDC drum cover. Sonic Grace, Wind Talker. What a great, nice little track there on acoustic. Thomas Christ, Risen. Thomas, he's on song number 19. He's 19 days straight. I think he missed a couple days in there, but it's a really cool thing you're doing, Thomas, if you're still in here. Yeah, love what he's doing here. I don't know how long it's gonna last. Do we have an idea? Like, he's just gonna...
Yeah, I'm not sure. Was he doing 30 days? I can't remember.
Is he doing 30 days? Oh, yeah, cool.
Maybe.
Wow. Yeah. Sticks for Guns put out a song called Signs. No Lake, Doom, my buddy Toothpick Vic, he'll definitely watch his show on replay. Boots On, Rocks Off, Danny Auger, Cafe Tuesday. I say it like he's French, typical Canadian, but I think he is from Germany. But Lunar Vibe, Driving Seat, Small Town Girl, and Bob Clements, Worn Too Thin. We have Vintage Tone, another good friend of mine, Buckethead again, Weltenkinder, Vibrant Life, and just a few more. Emery Island, Hello, a Lionel Richie cover. Really nice job on that cover. A good friend of mine, she's going to be on the show in a couple of weeks, D. Lynn, Wishing and Hoping, a Dusty Springfield cover. You're all going to love D. Lynn. I think she's already started to submit some of the tracks to some of these channels. Jenny Jazz Pop's cover channel. She did a pop cover, Dreadlock Holiday by 10cc. And Live for Life. David, that's a beautiful Bob Dylan cover that you put out. Things Have Changed. Really nice job. And then another Canadian friend of ours, Linda Jean. She came into this community by storm also. I still have to get her to submit to Pete John's show, unless she did and I missed it. She put out a live, The Mud Hole. And I'll stop right there for now. And we'll continue. You have any questions there, Mark?
Well, I was just noticing that a lot of these people and a lot of people in the chat and in the community wouldn't be doing this if it wasn't for this guy right there.
You're pointing the wrong direction.
Okay.
I just do this so you can't miss.
So this guy,
The mirror of it's impossible. I always point at my link and I'm like, no, it's that one. No, it's that one.
but we all start somewhere. And I'm wondering, Pete, when and how did you get into music?
Ooh, that's going right back into the weeds. Yeah, it's a
Let's
tale.
go
That's a
into
great
that.
question.
It's a tale of two parts, Mark. Actually, three parts. Let's go with the short version, but across three parts. So, how did I get into music? First of all, was my parents played a lot of records when I was a kid. They loved music and they loved listening to 60s and 70s music at the time. So, I listened to a lot of early rock and roll, a lot of Beatles, a lot of Stones, a lot of Elton John, Billy Joel through the 70s. So, they liked that sort of music. So, that was kind of my first indoctrination. So, I always sort of was singing along and enjoying it, and apparently at like age 2 I would sing along to Slim Dusty songs, who's like an Australian country artist here, so maybe one day I'll cover a Slim Dusty tune. And that was sort of my introduction. I then went through the learning music phase. So I played piano, I played viola, I played clarinet, and unfortunately, through doing all of that, I got some teachers that were a little on the strict side. So hello, Mrs. Sadu out there. Peter, you haven't done your theory. Still echoes in my head because I never did my theory. I hated doing my theory. So it kind of put me off music for a long time. I know this is pretty familiar to some folks that if you're forced to do something and you don't really like the way you're being forced to do it, it's kind of that fight or flight thing. So I flew away from music until my brother had a guitar. He had a pink Stratocaster copy. A long story behind why I had a pink guitar, but anyway, he was in his sort of mid-teens, so he was going out a lot. So I would sneak into his room at night and pick up his guitar, and he had this handbook. It was the Guitar Chord Handbook, the big blue one that a lot of people would have had, and I just went through. And I would just, every day I would go through and I'd be like, okay, so these are the D-shaped chords. And I would learn a few chords. And then the next day I'd sneak in, I'm like, okay, let's learn the E-shaped chords. And then I'd start doing that. So without even knowing it, I taught myself like the caged method for playing guitar. And then one day my brother came in and caught me playing. And he's like, you little so-and-so, you're better than I am now. And I'm like, sorry, I wanted to sneak in and play a guitar. So that kind of led to me getting my own guitar at age 17 and getting back into music. A couple of friends formed a band called Scarpa. We lasted maybe 3 or 4 years and we played a few gigs. We recorded a demo. We put together one CD, which you can find on SoundCloud in the deep, dark depths of SoundCloud if you go looking hard enough. And then life gets in the way. So university.
Find that link. Find that link. I want to hear it.
Yeah, you'll get it. It's very 18-year-old post-punk grunge kind of stuff. So not safe for work, put it that way. So then I got the life got in the way and sort of lost touch with music to the point where in my mid to late 20s, I looked at my guitar, I looked at my Les Paul, and I'm like, oh, I should probably sell that. I haven't played it in like 4 years, and luckily I didn't. So I still have the same guitar that I had when I was 17, and it was only when I got into my late 30s, really mid 30s to late 30s, that I'm there. I got 2 kids, I got the mortgage, I got the job, and I'm like, I need an outlet. What happened to music? It's kind of ridiculous that in the year 2016 that I'm not actually recording or doing anything with music. So I got a program on my PC called Cakewalk Music Creator 7, which was quite terrible, but I battled away with it. And I started learning that, hey, this multi-tracking stuff that you used to only be able to do if you had a proper studio or maybe like a 4-track Tascam or something like that, if you were going old school, you can now do it with a sound card and a laptop. So I sort of started getting into multi-tracking, realized that was getting a bit challenging. And then around about that time, I got into iPads and iPhones and discovered this little thing called GarageBand. And then that got me really excited to actually make music, and that's where in 2017 I recorded my first 4-track EP, which you can still get in all the places. If you go to petejohns.com, by the way, I've just got a link there that takes you to my artist page with all of the music that I've put out. But I did an EP called Recoil, learned learned about DistroKid, learned how to distribute my music, and then I started sharing. So that was kind of it's related to Songtember. So it's a good segue, Mark, because he asked about this, because that when I did those songs, I documented the processes on the channel and then shared it out. And I found that people started saying, "Hey, I wanted to do this. I didn't think I could do this. I'm a middle-aged guy with an iPad and a guitar. I want to do the same sort of thing too. If Pete could do it, I can too." And that was really cool and really rewarding to see that it encouraged other people to do the same thing. And to this very day, every time I get up and put the camera on, I'm saying to myself, do this to show others that they can do it too, because everyone can. That's a beautiful part of living in the future. You don't have to be selected. You can self-select to put yourself out there. And it's different to the old days of MTV. Guess what? I wouldn't be an MTV VJ, but I could do your music live because no one can stop me. I wouldn't get a record contract with Sony, but I can put out my own music because who's going to stop me? And that's the attitude that I love seeing, and that's why I love music.
I love it. So yeah, Folk Punk found that link.
The unstoppable Pete John.
Yeah, again, not safe for work if you are around children. Let's just say I was 18 and in very, very angry teenage years. It was the late 90s, and we liked swearing a lot. So, yeah, not for the faint-hearted, some of those songs.
Yeah, and that's good. We need to, muddy you up a bit. Let's bring it back.
Hey, there's a place for it. It is rock and roll after all. Rock and roll wasn't built on not pushing the boundaries, was it?
Yeah. All right. The next song we have on cue, you chose SM Borthwick, Midnight
Scott.
Sun. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so Scott Borthwick is a wonderful author, musician, creator, and just really talented person. And he's a testament, like my friend Mark here and like this guy over here, that being a really good human and then being a really good creator kind of go hand in hand. So yeah, he's made some wonderful songs. He's been part of Songtember every year, as far as I recall. I don't think he's missed a year, and he's just a wonderful supporter of me and the channel and the community, and a really nice dude. So I wanted to showcase one of his songs from Songtember.
Excellent. Let's do it.
Sitting in the dark alone, your soul's as heavy as a stone. The past is gone, the future's unknown. You've been down so long, you forgot that it feels wrong. You thought your last kiss was your last kiss. You didn't know how much would miss you, but you always were a fatalist, weren't you? I wanna see the sun light up your face. I wanna take you to a special place, lost in a maze of your own making. You didn't even know your heart was breaking. Let me lead you down a path that you've never taken. Don't worry none, there's a whole lot of loving in this world to come. With a ticket and I'll give it under midnight sun. Don't look down, I'll meet you on top of the world. When all's said and done, there's a whole lot of nothing makes us worrisome. We can overcome our troubles under midnight sun. Don't look down, I'll meet you on top of the world. You lost your style, lost your groove, Let me turn your gray skies into blues. Tell me now, what you got to lose? I wanna be your beacon in the night. I wanna show you that our future's bright. Captive to the thought that you've been forsaken, but the spark in you is ready to awaken. If you're gonna take a chance, make it one worth taking. Don't worry none, there's a whole lot of loving in this world to come. We can take it and I'll give it on the midnight sun. Don't look down, I'll meet you on top of the world. When all's said and done, there's a whole lot of nothing makes us worrisome. We can face it all together on the midnight sun. Don't look down, I'll meet you on top of the world. Don't worry none, there's a whole lot of loving in this world to come. We can dance away our troubles on the midnight sun. Don't look down, I'll meet you on top of the world.
Yeah. Great choice. Great track.
Amazing
And it's
stuff.
different, right? That's good.
Yeah, just the unexpected, just hitting it in there. You're like, okay, a ballad, nice baritone, nice ballad, just kicking along, and then Scott's like, nope, and just turns up the knob, and you're away. And again, similar like all the songs that we've heard so far from mine and yours and Mark's and then Scott's. Yeah, hopefully they're showing folks that it doesn't have to be complicated. Like it doesn't have to have all the tracks and all the effects and all the things to be super effective and super hooky. Like that's definitely I love Scott's music because he always has that really good hook in there. He's got the Strawberry Jam song. He's got that song. Like he's always got something that just leaves you going, oh yeah, you're just gonna be walking around going in the midnight sun for the rest of the day. It's just awesome.
Yeah, I can't do that. I can't talk that low. Yeah, that baritone voice. There's another artist similar, David Joshua, that's in the chat. Same. Yeah.
No, I'm the same. I try. I like to think that I can get low down, but no, it's not quite. Maybe not enough whiskey and cigarettes in my youth. Maybe.
Well, wait a second. I don't have that excuse. I have my share. What happened to me? All right, I'm going to continue with a couple more shout outs here. Dragon Orb, that's in the chat. Ghost Walk, again, Dragon. I'd love to see you submit something for some Songtember. Lady Campion put out Bus Stop, the Hollies cover. Anthony Rufo, if he comes in, I'd love to have him submit some songs to your channel as well. Michael Akaziland, In the Light of Day. Great track. I love the spoken word stuff that he's doing. It's just amazing. Yeah. Track after track. David Cartret, great premiere, Runaway. Ron Ward, there was a Ron Ward sighting.
What?
Did anybody catch that?
I missed it. Oh, I gotta look it up now.
Yeah. Return of the Grievous Angel, Graham Parsons cover. Melanie Choli, who were also trying to get onto this show, put out Fisherman Wisdom. Brian Drums, Until It Sleeps, a Metallica cover. Colorful Energy, keyboard improv with the Almond Blues backing track. Really, really cool stuff. That was
It was so good that it's frozen, Frank.
Sorry.
It's all right. No, we've lost Frank for a moment here, folks. So we'll just have to riff here. I don't have the list, so Folk Punk, you can just keep putting the links in there. I'm assuming that Frank has frozen for all and not just for me.
Yeah, he's frozen for me too.
Frozen solid. We'll give him a few seconds, otherwise we'll be patient. Hold the line, please be patient. Your calls are important to us, as DJ Big Red says to us. So hopefully it's see that Canadian internet. It's as bad as Australian internet these days, Mark. What's
Well,
going on?
Don't have any trouble with mine. Not so far.
yeah. No, you've done well, and mine's actually holding up, which is a challenge for me here. While we wait on Frank, not to take over and do anything of hosting stuff, but how's your Songtember going, Mark? What do you got planned for the month of Songtember?
Well, I had 10 to 12 IDs,
Nice.
narrowed them down to 3,
Yeah.
working on one right now. Probably gonna be rocking a little more.
Ooh, I like it. So we're going to see a bit of a raw edge of you this
A
year.
different side of me.
Doing one song or two? We're going to get a French and an English version of a song this year.
The one I'm working on is English, and the other ID that I have that is more tempting to me is more an acoustic thing. So don't know if it will be French or English yet.
Okay,
That would all depend.
Must be interesting. Like when you think of lyric ideas, it doubles your pool of ideas, because you could just have a thought in English or a thought in French and then just note it down, and then I guess you could translate it too and go, actually, this might work better in the other language.
Well, some people work that way. I know some people who work that way, but I don't know. It just comes, and the thing with I've mentioned that before, I believe. Latin-based language like French, Italian, Spanish, oftentimes they have kind of their own melody to it. They just flow in a certain way. So you kind of add the ID for lyrics and had the music afterwards.
Yeah.
When music comes first, it's easier for me to write in English at that point.
Wow. Very cool. Hello, Frank. Welcome back. I was just, we're filling time. I was asking Mark about his Songtember plans just while you recovered. A power outage there, apparently, they were telling us in the chat.
Yeah, it was a surge, and it was weird, though. Because this monitor went out.
Yeah.
And it made me jump about 5 minutes ago, but I looked around and everything was okay. And then that monitor went out, my computer's still on. And then I look at you guys and you're frozen. It's like
you were like, why are they frozen? Then like, wait a minute. And we were like, why is Frank frozen? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we vamped for you and just talked a bit more about Songtember, and Mark, I asked Mark about writing in French and English and how that works, because I can't imagine having two languages going around in your head and working out what your idea is and which language you're in. It was interesting. So we'll pass back to you now, Frank.
Well, I'm just going to finish off with some shout outs before we get on to the next song we have on queue is Dwight the Hitman Bailey, Back to Bad. And Dwight, why don't you submit a track for Songtember? Deed 1951 Euphoria, John Lemon and Lemonade. He was in the chat earlier. A great Canadian, great musician, fantastic composer. I would love to see John put out a song for Songtember. Nice instrumental. It'd be really cool. Adam Holtz, Frat House Boogie, Renfield Music, Crooked Tree, Molly 2D Poetry. I love it. Great stuff there, Steve. Jason Lemansky, God Only Knows, did a cover with Laurie's Mishmash. So we Beach Boys cover, and just put that up there. I'm going to just do some upcoming because it's really important before these people leave the stream. Is Roadie's Jam Cave is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Please join us there. The link is there. Jump on over, hit the notification. Dwight Carr has got a premiere morning come down is Thursday, September 5th at 5 p.m. Stay tuned. A great addition to our community. Fantastic, brilliant musician. Great band. Zero Reset is going to be Tuesday, September 10th at 7:15 p.m. Wes Herndon official live and unplugged. It's an album, an EP that's going to be released in October 1st. And let's not forget, Hetriani's album is just around the corner. He got me all excited today with a text that I read. And yeah, so it's coming soon. That's all I can tell you. We're going to stop there for now with the shutouts so we can continue on with music. The next song we have on cue here is Princess LDG's I Need Saving. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, so Princess LDG is Mark's nodding away because he knows she came into she crashed her way into the community. I'm sure she'll be fine with me saying that. She came in asking question after question, wanting to just absorb information, talking with people in the community, and wanted to make music. And she started making music. And I remember she'd work on a song, and then the next week I'd be like, oh, so how does compression work, Pete? And then she'd work on a bit more. It's like, what about delay and reverb? How can I add them, Pete? And she kept saying, oh, I'm so sorry I'm asking all these questions. I'm like, this is what we're here for. This is what it's all about. So I wanted to play this because this was her Songtember song last year. She's continued to create songs and create great music. Her latest song is just blow away awesome. And yeah, she's just a wonderful person. Again, these are people that are wonderful people and wonderful creators. And it's amazing how often they go hand in hand. Not all people are rock and roll and have to be a-holes. Most people that are wonderful folks also create great music, and that's what Princess LDG does.
Yeah, and this is a great track. Great. Oh boy. That's right. The power outage took out my preset video file. So I got to bring it back up. And now I got to remember where we were. So we're at track number 3. Let's bring this back. Just give me a second.
All good.
Yeah. That's not it. That's right here. It should be.
Yep.
Oh, that was it there,
That
right?
was it.
Yep.
You got it.
Right there.
Don't look down.
Sorry,
I'll
Mark,
let
we're
you
gonna
on top of the world.
There we go. All right, so this next song is sorry about that all. Princess LDG, I Need Saving.
And feels like a dark cloud is choking me, making it hard for me to breathe. And there's a hole in my soul, won't keep close. I'm vulnerable and can't take no more. Need saving, Someone give me a lifeline to get me through the night. I'm trying to not die, survive. Don't know how I got here. Before it was easier. Until the sea it turns out bittersweet. And I'm easy right now, right now, right now, right now. And I need oxygen right now. The air's running thin now. And save me. I need saving. No. My shallow heart's beating. Oh no, I'm suffocating. The light I had is gone.
Yeah, how good is that? Let's bring us back up. Yeah, that's a great call. That's a great track. And I was listening and to what you had to say, Pete, and I remember that because obviously I wasn't working due to the COVID shutdowns, lockdowns, and everything. So I had a lot more time to spend and watch a lot of these shows. But she, whenever near the end of the show, all right, does anybody have any questions? You're right. She would be right there with 3 or 4 ready to go. It's almost like, and I know you love sports. It's almost like recruiting your own. When you draft from a young age, I'm sure you must have that feeling because that was the connection I just had listening to the song. It's almost like, I mean, you're responsible, like in a very big part,
Yeah. I actually made the analogy in the show just before I came on here, which is that I consider myself a coach and I treat my job like a coach, and I always sort of have in all the workplaces that I've been in, because I think one of the challenges is that when you work in like the real world, in like a corporate job or in a real job, there's this pressure that you've got to climb the ladder and you've got to progress and that everyone should progress at this rate. But what the coach does is it sees the potential in someone that's starting out, it helps get them up, and then you wave goodbye as they exceed what you can do yourself. So I don't think the best coach is not necessarily the best player. Wayne Gretzky tried to coach a hockey team and it didn't go well. So because sometimes you don't actually have the ability to actually engage with people, and it's a different skill set. The best person at doing a thing, the best musician, the best recording artist, the best engineer, the best mixer, the best masterer, they're not going to be the best at explaining how to do that to someone else. In fact, sometimes they're worse because they assume people know things and they forget what it was like to be starting out. So you're spot on, Frank. For me, it's like I'm coaching and I've got the rookies that come in and I'm like, yep, look, these guys have got all this talent and all this potential. I see them go through and I see them turn pro, and then I see them go off and win the Stanley Cup, and I get to just stand there in the crowd cheering for them.
No, that's fantastic. That must be so rewarding. I mean, many of us see what you've done and how many people you've helped. You've helped me. Number one, to break out of our shell. Mark, go ahead. I know you want to add to that.
He helped me too. When you're talking rookie, you have rookies that are older than you.
True. It is true. Yeah, the experience is not equal to the age, and that's the other cool thing. There's 70-year-old rookies and there's 25-year-old pros, and that's also very cool.
You've helped me in incredible ways. First, you taught me that I could record on an iPad, which was the start of my musical journey. And even the most simple stuff, you have a video for that. Complicated, you have videos for that. There's always something that we can refer to elevate what we produce. That is fantastic, my man.
Mm. No, thank you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I do try to make sure I have that. I like to say that YouTube's my digital brain. And when people ask me a question, I'm like, yeah, I'm happy to always answer your question, but you probably get a quicker and better answer if you go youtube.com, Pete Johns Compressor GarageBand, because it's already there to the point where I have been known to go in and look at my old videos to remember how I did a thing so that I can do it again, because it's like that's why I started it. It's my repository too for the information. And people say, oh, don't you wish that Apple had a better manual and better videos produced for GarageBand? And I say, no, because then I wouldn't have a job if they got it. If they got it right, if they made it easy, I don't have a job. So yeah, it is really cool that I'm able to do that. And again, like, it can be the simplest thing, but it's frustrating, isn't it? When you're creating and you just need to find that thing, that button to push to do something. I know we've all been there where you're like, this is a roadblock in my creative process and I can't do it. So I want people to be able to go out, watch a 2-minute video, go, okay, there it is. That's how I do the multi-track. I just go to advanced settings and I hit multi-track record, and then I come back and I keep going. So yeah, thank you, Mark. It's definitely something that I've focused on to try and help everyone. And look, you can't be everything to everyone all the time, which is why I also say that people often say, you've got 140,000 subscribers. Why do only 40 people come to your live streams? Why do you only get 500 views on a video? Shouldn't you be getting tens of thousands? It's because it's a channel. It's because it's like a TV channel. Not everyone watches the news and Survivor and American Idol. So there's different people that will need different things and different paths. We've got folks that just come to the happy hour, that like hanging out, listening to acoustic tunes for an hour. We've got people that love Your Music Live because they love hearing independent music. And we've got people that watch and absorb every bit of GarageBand and Logic Pro stuff that I do because they want to learn or refresh their knowledge on that. So yeah, like anything, it's a channel. And if you sit there and focus on trying to please everyone all the time, yeah, you're going to please no one ever.
Yeah, no, that's well said. And I love, honestly, I love the way you conduct yourself professionally. You're a great leader. Somebody I look up to. Doesn't matter that maybe you're about 15, 20 years younger than me, but I look up to you. I respect you. I respect how you respect so many and how many people you help. I love your balance of all your shows. And again, each one is done professionally, and it's not just boom like mine. But no, it's really cool.
And there's a place for that too. Just so you know, there's a place for that too. So I joke around. I say that Thomas Christ and Metalhead Hippie doing their 14-hour live streams, and I can't. If I get past 2 hours, I start sort of you'll see me soon. I'll start. Oh, look, there's something shiny over there. Start getting distracted. But yeah, like it's different strokes for different folks, and I love the fact that not everyone is going to love my shows. Like when people give me feedback and they're like, "Hey, I didn't enjoy this video, or I didn't get anything out of this," I'll thank them for it. I'll say, hey, thanks for that. Maybe you'd enjoy this type better. So if someone says, you just took an hour to explain compression to me, I'll be like, have you tried my 2-minute GarageBand compression tips? Here you go. So yeah, it'll be different strokes for different folks, it's cool. It's the diversity of people, diversity of experience, and there's something for everyone. That's the beautiful part of living in the future here with YouTube. It's not just, your commercial channels and your cable channels. It's like you've got every niche, every little corner of every niche is covered by someone somewhere. You just got to find your tribe and go with it.
Yeah, well said. You've got a lot of support. I'm trying to catch up. This chat has never gone so quickly.
And thank you, by the way, for everyone for being here and for supporting Frank and supporting Mark and Folk Punk and all the folks here. You do an amazing job. I don't get to catch this show very often because, to be very honest with you, Frank, it crosses over my last show of the week. So this is kind of like my Friday night now because I work all weekend and then it's Tuesday morning here in Australia. So after this, I normally finish up and occasionally I'll have you on in the background while I'm walking around or getting some housework done or whatever I need to do. But yeah, when I do catch the show, it's always engaging different people with different perspectives and views all the time. And it's really great to hear from other people about their processes and celebrate. I don't know how you keep up with all of the different music that's put out there in the world because, I marvel at it because I couldn't do what you do. And I know you have help from others, but to collate all the information you do and share it, again, it's such a selfless thing to do. And I'm sure it's appreciated by the community.
That's cool. And like I tell everybody, I don't expect everybody to come in. What is important to me is the little shorts that I do, the promo reels for the artist. And that's important to me. Like, and then, more so than everybody's got something to do. And you mentioned it earlier. There's so many other streams and there is going to be overlapping. It's inevitable. And it's just, if we want to grow the community and it's growing, guess what? We're going to get even more overlapping inevitably. I mean, it could be controlled a bit, I think. Do them for others. I want to, so it's a great segue. Dan Anderson, want to give shout outs to Independent Many United, Lori's Mishmash, Leni Perez, Read Between the Lines, Rebel Rocker, Feisty Feather, DJ Big Red 81. Don't ever leave my side, brother.
Great Ass Man number 2. He keeps on my case. He wants me to make a sequel to that song.
There you go. Crimson Crux and Queen Survivor. Great to see you again, Queen. There's so many people that are doing for others. Like the other day, Mike and Don put out a nice little post. This community is wonderful, and I'm just so blessed to be part of. Milestones, I'm going to stop with the milestones. Emperism reached 1,000 subscribers. Congrats. And our good friend Crimson Crux put out a post. I think he said they were at 96 subs before they came in to our community, which was just a few months ago, through Pete's YML show. And now they're at 400. So congratulations. That's pretty cool. Very well done. And there's a lot of hard work there too.
As you mentioned earlier too, Frank, those are earned and those are done the right way because there is a temptation and there's the dark side of what some people have probably seen and even been tempted by and even participated in because we all like to look at the numbers. Let's be honest, it gives you a bit of that dopamine hit to see your number go up and to see that people are engaging with your stuff and the temptation to focus too much on those vanity metrics. Whereas, I know from the channels and from the folks and the creators around here that it's organic and that it's actually people that are enjoying your music. And I say that because I know it's really tempting to say everyone subscribe to everyone else and like and follow everyone else, which is important, but it's also really important to make sure that you're doing it in an organic way when you're promoting yourself and when you're helping others out. Because I say it often, but the worst thing you can do is subscribe to a channel that you have no intention of ever watching because that actually damages. It means less people, the algorithm will deprioritize it as opposed to prioritize it. So I know I'm unpopular when I say that because I'm like, I know everyone loves the sub, but just make sure that you are subscribing to people whose work you enjoy and that you're going to watch their stuff.
That's good. I'm writing this down because I just had a little jingle. I love my sub. I love my sub.
I love my sub. It sounds like a reggae tune in some dubstep.
Oh, that was good. All right. This is my favorite part of the show. And this is where I promote all the pianists and composers in our community. Fantastic artists and created a little promo reel for them. I don't think they get enough love, and so this is a little promo reel, and the links that they're going to be sharing tonight are all updated. If they have a new song out, please go support these amazing composers and pianists. You won't be disappointed. This music provided by Laurie's Mishmash. And
We're back.
I love.
Sorry, I love penis so much. I just had to hold it for a while.
Well done. All right, let's go back to here. So yeah, please offer up some support. Like I said, you will not be disappointed. They're fantastic supporters, at least of my channel, and I know they will do the same for yours. And like Pete's mentioned earlier, it's not going to be a one-off where they just hit the sub, because that's not what this is about. These channels here, all of them, I guarantee you, will come and support your channel and listen to your tracks and your music if they dig what you like. So that's the important part right there.
And it's really cool, like just put your YouTube on when you're vacuuming or when you're tidying, doing the dishes or folding clothes or whatever. Instead of putting the radio on, instead of listening to your professional music, just put your YouTube on and hit play, autoplay, and all the things you subscribe to. Yeah, you'll have to skip a few things, but yeah, that's what I find the best thing is that I'll do that and it'll play a Frank Turzo song, it'll play a Mark Bros song, it'll play like Laurie's Mishmash, we'll throw a cover of that in there. So it's a great way to support artists where, yeah, you can't always get to everyone all the time, but yeah, when you need background music, create yourself a playlist or just put on your autoplay and you'll hear all of your favorite creators that you subscribe to. It's very cool.
That's interesting. That would be a real cool show, because as simple as that sounds, I didn't know that existed, that you can hit autoplay for all your subscribers.
Basically, yeah. The algorithm
wow.
will feed you other stuff that it thinks you're interested in, but so you have to have your skip button ready to go. But yeah, you can basically just go autoplay and it'll go through. And then because there's so many people releasing so much new music, that's the only way I can keep up. So it'll say if you're subscribed and if you've got alerts onto people and you haven't caught up with it all, yeah, just at the top of your YouTube, that little slidey button that says autoplay, it means when it gets to the end of one video, it'll just start the next video. And yeah, especially if you've got YouTube Premium, no ads, you can just sit back and relax and watch and listen for hours at a time as I do.
Very cool. Thank you. It's the Metalhead Hippie.
Hey, Jeff.
So the next song we have on cue, but I gotta do this. I'm so sorry, Jenny. I have to do this. But out of courtesy, because of what you and Thomas and Metalhead Hippie and what they do is when you know you're playing one of their tracks, you just extend the courtesy to let them know that you're going to be playing one of. So I approached Ron and Jenny and I said, you know, Pete chose one of your songs to be played on the show tonight. And Jenny says, oh, wow, that's she's working and she'll catch up later. But Ron is out with the pups, but he's going to turn Pete on. And she was like, uh-oh, that didn't come out right.
Well, sorry,
Jenny. If you're still here. Yeah, I thought that was just priceless. So
love it. Love Ron and Jenny, two of the most wonderful people in the community.
Yeah. Very cool. So the next song is Wolfstone Studio, Get Up and Go. What brought you into that one?
Wolfstone Studio last year or the year before, they did some collaborations with Tremor Bear. Like they collaborate with a lot of other artists, and this is their Songtember song of last year, Get Up and Go, and it's got such a funny, quirky video to go with it, and yeah, it's Ron and Jenny. What can you say? It's a groove, it's a bop, and yeah, I really enjoy it.
Love it. All right, let's play.
Get up
Oh no, the
That
funk
is
stopped.
awesome.
I was just getting funky. Damn, love it.
I was watching Mark and you. You guys were dancing back there. That was
Yeah, you got to
awesome.
get the. We are chair dancing experts from way back. Helps the
Yeah.
knees. The knees like the chair dancing better.
Chair dancing's my thing.
Wow, I
You
can't
gotta have
keep
fun.
up to all this.
You got far too many people that watch your show, Frank. I don't know how you keep up.
All the everybody that came from your show, the chat's just lit up. So that's yeah, it's a lot of fun. But I won't keep up. I'm trying. But yeah, that's a brilliant track. And again, everybody, I've got it linked I got the link pinned at the top of the chat, and that's for the Songtember. To those of you, Son of Snake, that would be really cool to get something for Songtember. I mean, Son of Snake is on a roll right now. To those of you, every week I'm shouting out at least one of his tracks. He's got a nice flow going on with the station. Really cool stuff. Yeah, Nickelback. It'd be really cool. There's another one that we'd love to see up there. Look at all these Canadians. All right.
Taking over the world, Canadians. I love it.
I'm going to shout out some of the mentions here, and I've missed a few. Like I alternate weekly. The Nut House, Rise of Dark Leela, Charlie Gabaldon, Valerie Bott, Robbie Stingle, Stephen Ewart, Axe and Nachos, which you'll catch tonight. You got Vince Janella on after this, and then Axe and Nacho at 11. JM Unleashed, Tales Told in the Dark. We got Guitar Hack, The Falcrow, Richard, and Rhett's been in the house all night. I've seen him here. The Mix Club. Nura's Guitar Channel. Really cool channel to anybody who's thinking of learning to play guitar. It's really basic. He shows you the finger strumming on one part of the screen, channel, the screen, and then you've got the lyrics. It's really good stuff. And Pompeii Music, another guitar teacher, Michael Songs, and Recreepy. Easy drawing tutorials if anybody's interested in drawing. They just came onto my channel to support. I met them through Independent Many United. Great channel. Yeah, I might ask them to help me with the video.
There you go. It's all connected, isn't it? It's all art. It's wonderful to have other artists to chat with, collaborate with, and see what they do, how they do it.
Yeah. So the Songtember, hopefully we can keep this growing. I know I'm excited. Like I said, we've got something in the works. We actually started it last September. KVK sent me something, and it kind of fell through. But so we put it aside for this purpose to resume this Songtember. So yeah. And it's coming along good so far, so it's going to be great.
And it's a good reminder too that a lot of people say, "Oh, well, the pressure. What if I don't get it done? What if I don't finish? And what if it doesn't come together?" The whole point of this is to get motivated, to have fun, to enjoy the creative process, and it won't always work out. Like sometimes songs just hit a wall and don't go any further, and sometimes you need to step away, and then when you come back to it, it works the second time around. So, for everyone that's worried, that's concerned, because I feel it too. You think you're feeling pressure? I'm doing mine live on a channel over the 30 days. If I don't get my song done, I'm like, oh, what's going to be the worst thing ever? But I actually think 1 year I'll deliberately not get the song done, just to show people that it's okay and that the world doesn't come to an end if you don't actually get it finished within the month. But yeah, it's an opportunity. And I say, if you've done more at the end of September than you would have done if you hadn't been part of it, then that's the win. That's all you need to do. It's really just to encourage people that maybe have let their creativity lapse a bit, that aren't making time for music, to find those little windows and buckets of time and do some creating, or even just observe other people creating and whet the appetite, and then maybe next year you come on board. So yeah, there is no right or wrong way to do it. No prizes, nothing at stake except for your own fun and creative endeavors.
And that's what I did. I watched for a couple of years before I finally submitted one. And but it's good that you said that, because it's the involvement. And
Yeah.
to those of you who haven't submitted a song or participated even by viewing, you can just feel the energy on the channel, on what you're watching. And that's why whenever you see something posted from Jade, please go visit her channel. It's going to have to do with Songtember, Pete and Thomas Christ and Leela. They all do a nice, they all do their part in trying to bring this, and you'll feel it. You'll feel it when you go into the chat. And then when they play, at the end, I think you have a special show for all the tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. And in fact, I can't get the pointing right either. Thanks to this guy, we're doing something a little bit different this year, because last year, as I mentioned, we had 78 complete songs. I just split it into 4 chunks. It was a 4.5-hour stream, which is way beyond what I normally like to do, because I tend to get a little bit, as I say, a little antsy and distracted after a couple of hours. So Mark had an idea, which I think is brilliant, which is to make it into 2 parts. So we're actually doing part 1, which is going to be during a time slot for our UK, European, Asian zone and Australian friends. And then we're doing the usual time slot, which is great for those in the US and Canada. So you can, at the end, you can submit and choose which of the 2 shows you'd like to be on. And of course, you can catch both of them, but one will be at sort of very early morning for those in the US and Canada, but a great time for everyone else. And then we'll do the normal time slot for our US and Canadian friends. So it was a great idea.
Yeah, early morning. It's okay. I can hide in my office and listen.
Set the alarm for 3 a.m. Hop up, and you're away. It's all good.
Oh, that early?
I think it works out at 6 a.m. Eastern, but for our friends on the West Coast, it's very, very early.
Yeah, that's yeah. I can handle 6 a.m. 5 o'clock. I'm up, so that work out.
Yeah, there you go. You'll be able to catch both, but yeah, you get to choose. If you're an early bird, or maybe you're still up from the night before and you like to stay up late, then you can still be on that late night / early morning show. So yeah, it works well, and we do that. So those I mentioned earlier, and you mentioned that you were on Your Music Live episode 83. We're up to Your Music Live episode 200 and something now. Like it's continuing to continue on. And we do that every week. But yeah, at the end of Songtember, we do a big Songtember celebration version of Your Music Live. So this time it'll be split into 2, which I'm looking forward to. But we've got 27 days of creating ahead of us before we get to that.
Well, if I ever get drafted by the Leafs, then maybe I'll ask for number 83.
There you go.
Yeah,
go for it. It's not very. 83 is pretty unique. I can't think of a famous.
I can't either. I was
quite
actually
unique.
thinking of it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's Thomas Konecki. That's about the only one I got. Yeah, so there you go. 83, you'd be quite unique.
There you go. So the next song you have on cue here is Tom Kerher, loved by everybody.
The one and only.
Yeah, Make It On My Own.
What can you say? It's Papa Tom. He puts his heart and soul into everything. He collaborates with a lot of cool people. He's super encouraging, super talented, and just a genuinely nice dude. So yeah, couldn't do it. And look, I know I've picked 5 songs from last Songtember, which means I didn't pick 73. And when Frank asked me for songs, I'm like, I'm going to basically disappoint 73 people. But hopefully I picked like a variety of styles and different creators and different things here for you to get a sampling of what some folks create. And I wanted some ones that were going to inspire you to get creating this Songtember.
Well, you did. I enjoyed putting this little show together with all these songs. I got to really research your library of music, which you don't like to promote as much, but I think you should. I think it'd be a really cool show if you at least one show a year where you can showcase your music. Just my advice. But let's hear this. It's a great track. Tom Caraher, Make It On My Own. Let's play it.
You know there's something I've got to say, so you understand why I feel this way. The temperature's rising between us now, and I'm wondering how we can bring it down. Just bring it down. Why can't we just bring it down? Can't you see that something's happening to me? I need to move on, move from this place, and make it on my own. Well, it didn't have to end this way. I feel so bad I don't know what to say. I guess our separate lives it will have to be, and now we live our lonely destiny. Yeah. So think 2 times before next you jump. Anticipate the loss of wonder and fun. Take care of these feelings that we once did share, and know the sorrow that we now must bear. I can't bear this loneliness. Why can't we bring it down, bring it down? Can't you see that something's happening to me? I need to move on, move from this place, and make it on my own. Where do I go with this September song? Try to balance the right and the wrong. It's not the past but the future you see. Heart to part, but this is what it will be. What it will be. It's hard to part, but I hope you see I will make it on my own.
All class. All class.
Isn't he cool?
Yeah.
One of again, I know I'm a broken record here, but great person, great creator. These are all kind, generous people, and I wanted to reward some of the best and kindest and most community-minded folks because it's the community pulse after all. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the five awesome artists that we showcased.
It's all of them great tracks. Yeah, it must have been hard to choose five.
Oh, impossible. And yeah, look, I know we played some on Jay's channel the other day, and I've played some as well. So I figure by the end of September, we'll have played all of last year's songs again somewhere. So yeah, there's so many great songs to choose from that it was a almost impossible task. So at the end, it was just eeny meeny miny mo, and I had to just go with those artists. But yeah, again, thank you to those artists for sharing and for having the courage to share because it's not the easiest thing to do, as you'd remember, Frank, and I'm sure as you recall, Mark, when you share your first song with people, with strangers on the internet. Yeah, it does. It gets the heart racing and it gets the palms sweaty, and yeah, it can be quite daunting. So, having supportive communities and groups where folks can share their music is super important to me, and it's something that I want to encourage. And it's great to see that vibe is continuing to float through so many other communities and channels as well. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and my whole efforts were to try to bring, the communities a little closer together, and of course, with that, it's like family. You always get disagreements and
Oh yeah,
stuff happening, but that just goes with it. But I'm blessed to be involved in these one big community, and yeah, when you were picking the songs, like I said, I had that episode number 83. I did something a little comical with it, and it's like, but I had already gone through your Songtember list, and it's like, oh man, all right. He picked one of my songs, so I went back in, and then the Chandler Brothers, yeah. So I took mine out and brought that in. It's a great thing you're doing. Remember, everybody, Songtember is coming up. It's happening right now. You can visit Jay's channel, Pete's channel, John Thomas's channel. You'll get all the updates as to what's going on. This is a great thing that Pete started here. Please, I'm going to be challenging people throughout the month of March and reaching out to some people to see if they're going to get involved. So if not, just stop by and have a listen. There's a lot of great artists, and we're going to be releasing the tracks as they come out on this show as well. So
it's a great time.
I'm gonna, because we started a little late, there was a couple of more shutouts, but it's not gonna hurt. We'll shut them out next week as well. Thank you once again, Mark, for accepting this, and I'm glad I did this.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, and I know, yeah, yeah, I can just tell by, like I said, anytime I'm in Pete Johns's any one of his shows, you seem to be there. You're a great supporter, a great friend, and you're Canadian. I had to have you on.
The hat trick.
The hat trick, correct.
Well, I love this community, so I'll be there.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's good. Pete, thank you very much. Like I said, the respect I have for you is grand. I mean, you, like I said, you've opened up the door for me. You brought me out of a shell. I always knew I had it, and deep inside, I thought people would like what I had, to play, but never had the courage until I met you in this community, all because of one stupid little Samsung mic that's about this big that plugs into your phone because I didn't have Apple, and I watched a show on that, and here I am, and I still promote that mic to everybody.
It is cool to see the way people came in. Some people were trying to get dirt out of the port on their iPhone. Some people were trying to get their microphone to work or their audio interface to work. And some people, heard a song, and a silly song like No Such Thing as College that was being mentioned by Hetriani before. So, yeah, however you're here, and that's the way I'll reaching out in different ways to try and get more and more people creating and recording and releasing music, because it is, it's my full-time job, and yes, I run a business doing it, but it is also my passion, and would be regardless, and was beforehand, before this was even a thought or an idea. So yeah, get involved. studiolifetoday.com/Songtember if you want all the information. Very, very simple to be involved, and check out our friends as well, friends of Songtember, who are doing their own creative processes, because if you don't get inspired by watching other people do it, then it's a really good way to get yourself ready to rock and roll, or reggae, or ska, or hip hop, or whatever you want, whatever genre you're creating.
Excellent. So thank you all, especially to my mods, Independent Many United, Lori's Mishmash, Gary Hubbs, Snooks, Crimson Crux, DJ Big Red, for all the work you do with preparing all these videos and putting up with me with changing the song lists and everything constantly. Rebel Rocker, Feisty Feather, Queen Bee. Thank you all for all your help that helped me put this together. Thank you, Pete, once again. Thank you, Mark. Happy Songtember to everybody.
Woo.
Anything you want to add just before we go out? We'd like to go out with a good friend from Australia. Liza Day was kind enough to let me use her song Family as the closer for the show. Anything you want to add before we check out?
No, just thank you to Mark, thank you to Frank, and thank you to all of you for spending some time hanging out. It was been great to be part of this community, and to finally jump over onto Frank's channel and chat with Mark, and two of my favourite people, and all of you folks have been awesome to be here. So thank you again for having me, and happy Songtember.
All right. Good night, everybody. We're going to close out with Liza Day. Thank you all.
We are, we are, we are, we are. 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 Sister, brother, father, mother, we are one and the same. We are friends, chosen hearts, shared a force of nature. We are family, forever like a diamond, special treasure. We shine. Family, we